Hi guys, this is Tina with Rehatch Designs. Hope you guys are all doing great today. I am just kind of playing around in my craft room, and I was making something, and I thought maybe, you know what, I'd just bring you guys along for the ride. Maybe you might want to see what I'm doing and, you know, join in on the fun. I am going to make a super duper easy journal it's a small journal just made out of paper and bags and scrapbook paper with no sewing involved, and something I think a lot of my new people are kind of wanting because they're anxious to do a journal, and you know, they don't want to just jump right into the sewing part. Although honestly, if you've done a couple journals, I think it's actually easier just to sew your journal, but that's just me. But I'm gonna, and this is really easy. So you just have to get your feet wet at some time and it's only paper, just dive in, okay? Which brings me to, I want to give you guys a heads up if you're new. I've got a lot of new people, and I'm gonna do this for them. And, you know, if some of y'all want to come along for the ride, that's fine too. But starting tomorrow, I'm going to do a series on using a book. And this isn't going to be an altered book where you glue the pages. I may do that at one time. I'm not crazy about those. I just don't like how it limits you, and I don't know. I think this is almost easier. Plus, this teaches people how to sew in your signatures. And I think that's the part that people can be afraid of. And honestly, it's not that hard. I'm not going to say it doesn't take a little practice, and it does. But like I said, you know, it's only paper, okay? All you need to do this, if you want to craft along with me, and that's why I'm telling you ahead of time, is just a book that you're willing to gut, okay? And I am going to be using this little Reader's Digest. In fact, I've already taken a few pages out to use out of it. These are very, very popular to use, and you'll find a lot of junk journals like using them, and it has a lot to do with the size of it. It's just a... my poor Tim Holtz ruler. I got to get a new one. I just really have messed it up so bad. It is, what, 5.5 by a little over 7.5. And so people love this because you can just cut your pages to fit, and it's great. Another good size is, and you know, it doesn't matter what color it is. If you don't like the color, you can paint it. You can cover it. You can do a lot of different things. I'm not going to be covering a lot of this. I'm going to leave the green, and I'm going to leave this green too, but I will be reinforcing the spine somewhat. Okay, and a lot of reason people like the Reader's Digest too is people like these covers, the design on them, because they can add to it, and you know, and the insides always look cool. So so a lot of people like them for that reason. But I have this this book. I don't even know. I think it was my husband's, The Cuban Affair. Okay. And anyway, so this book would work also. I mean, we can gut that. I will tell you that on some of the newer books, if you look at the spine, it's a little bit harder to get the pages out and intact because they're really glued in there, but it's not that hard. So we'll do it, and I probably might gut both of these just to show you how it works. But you probably want something, and that's another reason people like the Reader's Digest. This has, what, an inch spine. If you can get something with an inch spine, because we're not going to replace the spine, we're going to do it. This has an inch. I think, what is this, 1.5 inches? Probably a little bit more than an inch. Yeah, it's about 1.5 inches. And 1.5 inches to me is perfect for 2 signature journal, and that's why I think another people like the Reader's Digest. So just look out there, and a lot of places have them for sale, reasonably cheap. So if you can find them or one like that. And this one, it would work though too. This has an inch spine on it, and it is, you don't probably want a really big one for your first time out, I wouldn't think. This is 6 inches by 9 inches. The problem with that is that your pages, you know, will be in here, and they'll be, you know, there'll be a bigger gap from top to bottom, but it'll still work, is what I'm saying. So find yourself a book, and then we're gonna we'll be doing this, and I'm gonna start that tomorrow, and I'll do some other videos in between. I'm not gonna just do the new book thing, and and all I'm going to probably do in this series is I'm going to show you how to gut the book and then reinforce the spine and pick papers and then sew on your signature. I'm probably not going to do the decorating part of it, because I think that's kind of individual preference in that, because partly I have some other journals that I'm working on that I want to kind of get done. I might come back and do that later, but I'm going to do that part, and it'll probably be a 3-part series because it's hard to do all that and explain it in just one video. So maybe 2 parts, but it could be 3. Okay, so anyway, I will be doing that, and I do want to, before we into our little thing that we're going to do today, I want to remind everyone that I'm having my 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and this is what I'm giving away, is this journal. I'm just kind of flipping through it. There is a flip through out there, so if you see the cover, this Dragonfly journal, you can look and see there's a flip through. I'll try and remember to put that in the link, but I don't know. I don't always remember. Anyway, so I am at like close to 960 subscribers. So if I get 40 more subscribers, when I get 1,000, whatever day that is, whatever day I hit that, I will pop on and I will do the drawing for this. And it's the way you enter this drawing is the same way you enter all my other drawings. I have giveaway Fridays, and giveaway Friday works like this. If you're a subscriber and you make a comment on a current video, I will pick your name, or I'll pick a name on Friday out of anybody and you can watch an old video. It does not have to be a new video, but it has to be a current comment during that week. And then what I will do is I will go ahead and put all those names in a bowl, and then I'll pick out of that someone, and then you have until Thursday of the following week to claim your prize. Give me your address, because I put my contact information on that Thursday, and if you don't, then your prize gets rolled out again. If you look in last week's, we had multiple prizes because some people didn't contact me or contacted me too late, etc. Anyway, so this, I'm going to just take all the comments that I've had of all my subscribers that I've just been collecting, and I will draw from that for this one, for the 1,000 giveaway. But for the every Friday one, it has to be a comment made within that week, Friday through Friday. And I pay up to $10 shipping, and after that, you can decide if you want to go ahead and pay for it or not. On the 1,000 giveaway, I'll just pay the shipping, no matter where it goes. It doesn't matter. Okay? All right, so let's get to what I'm doing. So today, we're going to go ahead and the reason I thought of this is I had a friend of mine that wanted to do a journal, and she said, "Oh, I would love just to do one that doesn't sew." And I directed her to. I have several videos out there. I've got a file folder, several file folder ones. I've got a envelope journal, and I've got another one that using envelopes and old scrapbook paper, and all of those are no-sew. So you can take those and adapt it to whatever you're doing, and make a no-sew journal. So they are out there, so you can see those. In fact, I'll try and put those in the description so you can kind of roll through those and maybe decide you want to do something else. Okay, this one today though it's really easy. I think it'll turn out really cool. I haven't done it yet, so I kind of played around with it a little, I'm not gonna lie. Somebody, Barb had said to me when I was doing the papers, the different papers that I did the other night, it was kind of funny because she said she was going, when I put the gesso on it, no, and I told her, I said, and she said, but I had faith that you knew what you were doing, it would turn out. And I'm like, no, I don't always know. A lot of times I just turn on the camera and whatever I'm doing, I hope it works out, because and sometimes it doesn't. But I just figured, hey, I might as well just bring y'all along for the ride, and you can experiment with me. And I'm certainly not an expert in anything, so but I will say I had used the gesso before on stuff, and it does turn out, it just, the way it just grabs the ink, and I've never been disappointed when I've done that. And I have been, when I first couple of times I did it, I was like, oh my God, I ruined it. But you know what? It always turns out. Anyway, so we're going to do this. Like I said, I haven't done it. I kind of played around with it a little, but I think it'll work, okay? First of all, what I'm using to make this journal is, I've got these bags that I bought a while back, and they are, I just got them off of Amazon. They're 8.5 by 11 bags, and the only reason I'm using them, you don't have to use these bags. I mean, you don't have to use bags at all. You can just use all paper to make this, okay? But I'm using them because I have them, and I had bought these years ago. I used to sell things in craft fairs. I did a lot of jewelry. I did all kinds of different crafts. But I used to use this because all of my bags were either, the brown bag or black and brown and that type of thing. That was kind of my thing. And I used black and brown tissue paper and all that kind of stuff. So I just have a lot. I don't know what fell. Oh, something fell. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to use these, and I've gotten, let's see. So I'm going to use, how many did I decide I was going to use? I think I was using 6. I'm using 6 of these bags, and before I put them in there, these all have kind of messed up sides on them, but I'm going to show you anyway. So all I did is I don't know why I picked that one. And I just took, here's the open end here. I just took this in, and I took my pinking shears. You don't have to use pinking shears, but I did because I just wanted it to have. And I just cut right at the very edge, just a slither, all the way down. So both sides would be open, okay? And I did that, and I folded them over, and I basically made them pretty much even at the end. And it doesn't really matter which way you fold them. It really doesn't. So just fold them after that, and then you'll have, I had 6 of those. You don't have to have those, okay? The other way that you have to prepare these, because we're not sewing in these signatures, which glue did I think I used this, yeah. You need to take some glue, and because the bag's open, it's not that hard to do it. You have to run a bead of glue, and this is a little tricky, but I held my bag up like this to get inside, to get right on the line. And I just did, and that's why I liked using my art glitter glue. But you need just a tiny bit of glue to go down the middle so that it doesn't go all, because if you don't, let me show you what's going to happen. See, this is just going to go like this, and you're not sewing in here. So yeah, I did that. I haven't done it on these, so I need to do it. Like I said, I just bent it so I could see the middle, opened it up, and then and I don't even know if you have to do it all the way across. I just did a tiny bit and then kind of went like this. Art glitter glue dries super fast. I've had a lot of people ask me if it's worth it, because it is kind of pricey, but you use so much less of it. I'm sure it's because of the tip, and also it just doesn't take a lot because it grabs very easily. And there's different glues for different things, and you know, but as far as a paper glue goes, I think it's just really a good glue. So did I just have 3? I think I just put 3. How many did I put in the other one? Maybe I just did put 3. Yeah, or maybe, did I do 3? Yeah, I think I used 3 bags. That's what it was. It wasn't 6 bags. 3 bags. I knew that sounded like a lot. Okay. And that's really all the gluing that we're going to have to do, except for you probably would need a glue stick, or you will need some other glue. And honestly, I used my glue stick, and I love these Scotch permanent glue sticks. These are, to me, oh, I mean, the end-all be-all glue stick. I know there's a lot of other favorites out there, but I love them. It's not coming off if you put that on. And I'm going to use that. Otherwise, you probably need like another glue, because you are going to need a little bit of glue for this. I used also, you're going to need, this is called just athletic tape, okay? And it's really made, it's a material, okay? I use this in a lot of different things that I want to bind them together, because it's super strong. And you can even use this as a book binding, because I make it wider too. The glue on it is not meant to be permanent, so that's what I'm going to use my glue stick for. That you can use your glue, whatever. If your glue stick does not stick good, then you're going to want to use some other glue. The other thing you can use, this is called Micropore, and you can get this anywhere. This is a really thin one. I'm not going to use that because I actually want something wider for this. And so this is what this is about. Is that 1.5 inches? Well, maybe. Sure doesn't seem like it's that big. I think it's, what does this one say? It doesn't say anything. It is, yeah, it's about 1.5 inches, and I think this one is 2 inches. Okay, this is made out of cloth, and this is like a paper, okay? But this stuff's really strong, and you could definitely use this if you already have it. I use this again to reinforce a spine or whatever, because this stuff's really strong. And I'm going to show you what I did. I'm going to take a piece of that off, and I'm going to also use the other stuff just to kind of, it doesn't matter. And this stuff's really cool because it tears really neat. And I'm going to take a few pieces like that and put them down here, and you'll see why in a minute. Okay. And I'll do those like that. All right. And you can probably see this over here is this. And all I did is I took some brown paint and kind of dabbed it on there, and then I took some vintage photo and some other stuff, and I just kind of messed with it, and I just wanted to dingy it up a bit. So anyway, this is really cool to use. Let's see here. You're gonna need papers, whatever kind of little papers that you would put in a journal. I've got, and I'm making this kind of grungy. You don't have to make it grungy. This is just what I'm doing. I have some really grungy coffee dyed paper and some grungy other papers that I'm going to put in there that I've coffee dyed, and we will use those. I guess I didn't take that apart. Hold on a second, guys. I've got a technical difficulty here. I didn't undo what I did. So anyway, I'm going to, and I don't remember, I think I had 12 papers total, including the bags. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, maybe I didn't. Did I have more? I don't remember. I had I had a couple other coffee dyed papers. No, 10. I had 10. So, okay, did I glue all of these? I think I did. So I glued my bags, and so I've got those. 1, 2, there should be one more. What happened to it? Maybe I put it over here. Okay, yeah, that one's glued. So I have my 3 bags, and however many pieces of paper you want, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you just put whatever you want. I would not go past like 10 or 12 pieces, and I'm going to put 2 short pieces in there, and I'm only doing that mainly to show you guys how to add those. Okay, so I wouldn't really go, yeah, there was a total of 12, that's right. I wouldn't really go much past that for this, because this journal is only meant to be like a small journal. You couldn't really make a really big multi-signature journal out of this, I don't think, anyway. Well, let me show you what I did on this cloth tape and on the micropore, just to kind of give you an idea. Like I said, I wouldn't use the 1 inch. I would use a wider one. The other thing that you can use on this is washi tape, but I would use a wider washi tape like this, and I am going to use some washi tape on this. I don't think the thinner one would work as well, but I am going to show you a way you could use the thinner washi tape in case that's all you have. And whatever style goes with what you're doing, okay? And on this stuff, all I'm going to do is just going to take some of this and kind of go across it and on my glass mat, and that way it just kind of, I'm just mixing different colors, and I'm just trying to make it grungy. What I found is that the cloth took the color better, and so that's why I kind of used it. I wasn't necessarily doing it because it needed to be that strong. I just did it based on my preference. I'll take some vintage photo. It just seemed to like it. I wanted a really dark color, and because it was cloth. Now you could use strips of material to do this. The other thing you could use, and I'm going to use a couple of pieces, your cutoffs from your like coffee dyed paper or whatever, this will work too. That'll work too. I don't know that it'll be as strong as some of these other things, but it will work. Pieces of paper will work as long as you have it glued down that well. So I'm going to take these off of here. Part of the reason I use my glass mat is that I can move it, but it'll stick on this stuff over here, okay? So anyway, that's all I did to these, and just kind of grungied them up a little bit, and that's the cloth ones. So you do need a bunches of pieces of washi or any of those things to start out with. You need your papers, and I'm going to put this up here because I don't need it anymore. And then there won't be so much glare. Let me see if I can get my other light maybe. Okay. Anyway, so let's start. So the first thing you're going to do is, these are 8.5 by 11, and that's what's so cool about using these bags, is all you really have to do is fold them in half and cut the one side, and now all of a sudden you've got these pockets that you can use on both sides. This one is not wanting to open up. Okay. Oh, no, that's because I didn't cut it far enough down. All right. Anyway, so this way you have your pockets on both sides, and you know, but you don't need to go out and buy a lifetime supply of bags to do this. Like I said, you can just do papers. But anyway, you can buy small amounts. I see it in the craft stores all the time. You know, you can buy 10 or 12 bags at a time. And I just had these, and I thought I'm going to throw these in there, and I need to use them more because I don't do the craft fairs and stuff anymore. And I had some friends ask me, and it's not that I didn't sell things. I sold a ton of stuff. As a matter of fact, I would sell more than I could ever possibly make, but it's just a lot of work. Setting up, you know, being there all day, and some of them are hit or miss. Most of them I sold enough to more than make up me being there, but you have to lug all your stuff, lug the tables, lug all, I mean, it's just not, it's a lot of work, and I just don't, you know, I just don't really want to do all that. I have my Etsy shop. I did start selling stuff on that, and then I quit. And then I'm doing junk journals, and I just now reopened my shop, which brings me to I'm going to put some more stuff in there. I know some people wanted the quilt, pieces of that, but I'm also going to try and do beginner junk journaling kits for stuff, and I may just do like little kits for stuff like this. Excuse me. My allergies are still killing me. Killing me. So I may do like kits for things like this for people so that they can have everything they need. They don't have to go out and buy a bunch of stuff, and you know, add some things to it, you know, all the decorating parts of it too. But it takes time to do all that, and it takes time to do the videos. Videos on average take me at least 3 hours by the time you prep, do the video, you know, post it, do all that. So it's very time consuming, and you know, I'm not getting paid to do anything, so it's just kind of a lot to do, and you know, neglect the rest of your life. So I love doing it, don't get me wrong, but it is a lot of work, a lot more than I anticipated when I started doing it. Okay, so anyway, quit rattling on. So I've got some bags, I've got some papers that I want to use, just a variety of different papers. And what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to start varying my papers. I think I'm going to start with this really grungy copy dyed paper. Then I'm going to put this bag in. And then I think I'm going to put this paper. Okay, so that's kind of how I'm going to start. Okay, so I'm going to put that back so I know what I'm going to do. So this is going to be my first paper in. So what I do, let me move this stuff out of the way so we can kind of tell what I'm doing. Get so crap here. Let me move these. Everything's getting in the way. Move that. Okay, there we go. Too many things on my desk. All right. So I'm going to start with that. And what I'm going to do is I'm taking my paper bag and I'm going to have it folded. This is where the spine would be, where this fold is. And I'm going to put this down like that. And I'm going to just kind of get it in there and make sure it's there down far. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take, and this is those pieces of athletic tape. And I'm going to put some glue on the back of them so I can make this permanent. And I'm just going to take that, make sure it's where it's supposed to be. It moved a little bit. And you can do that just by kind of opening and closing it. And I'm going to put just a piece of tape, half on one piece, the bag, and half on the other piece. And I'm just going to do that. And see, that's why I kind of made it rustic. And I'm going to take some washi tape, if I can find the end, please. Okay, here we go. I haven't used this roll. I have some thicker other ones, but I kind of thought this went with it, what we're doing. Oh, please, come on. Okay, so I'm going to take some of my washi tape and I'm going to put it down here. And I'm not going all the way up and down. I'm just kind of getting the majority of it. And I'm going to go ahead and put some washi tape on there. I tore it, kind of messed up. So I'm going to put that kind of right here. Okay, and I like that it's torn. It's not perfect. So there, okay. Then I'm going to turn my page over, and I'm going to take my next sheet that I'm going to put in there, and I'm going to line it up, make sure it's in the middle. You just want to make sure they're straight and they're in the middle. Okay, that they're right on the little bend part right there, and I just do that by doing that. So on this one, I think I'm going to put my washi tape on top. And if you have super sticky washi tape, maybe you don't have to do this, but I don't know. I haven't seen a washi tape yet that doesn't come off, so I'm going to put that up here. And you could, if you wanted to, go all the way up and down with your washi tape. I happen to like the look of the randomness of this better. And this reinforces it enough. So, and it happens to be going with the look I'm going for. But if you wanted to, you could do the same thing and put your micropore, whatever, right in there. So this one is just some grungy vellum. And I'm going to put it up here. And I think on this one I'm going to try a long piece of my micropore tape. And I'm going to go ahead and make it a little bit shorter. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to go half on and half off with that. And this one I am going to go most of the way down. Okay, and I don't care if it's wrinkled or any of that, because that to me looks good. Okay, so then I open it up again. Make sure you don't go like this and put it, you have to open it up. So we have 2 pieces of that. Do we want to do 3? Let me see. I think we want to do a bag now. So let's do another bag, and I'm going to put it right there. And on that one, I think I'm going to use washi tape, but I'm going to use a longer piece kind of down the middle. Okay, and I'm cutting it kind of crazy because I want it that way. Oops. All right. So I just moved it. That's the thing you got. The only thing on this is just make sure that you keep your papers where they need to be. Another thing, I think you could do it like this, because I did do it on a few when I was practicing. You can take it and put it halfway on and halfway off like that, and it has the glue on it. And then that way you can kind of line it up maybe, and then not have to worry about it moving so much. It might be a little bit easier. I think on this it's because the vellum is kind of slippery. But that's the important thing, is that you get it in there straight, because that way it'll fold with the rest of it. So see, that's crooked right there. So that means the top part I put in there straight, but I didn't put that in there. And plus I need more glue on there, I think. So let me do that again. Okay. All right, I think that will work right there. All right, yeah, that's way better. Okay, so now I'm gonna just keep doing that. This time I'm gonna add this paper. So you've got your paper opened up that you're going to, and then this is folded in half. That's how you're doing it, and you just keep going. On this one, I'm gonna add some of that, but I'm gonna do something else. I'm gonna put this right here. And you just basically want to make sure that you have enough covering the top and the bottom, and just like you would if you're stitching. Because if you just put a piece like down here, then this part's going to move around. If you just put too small a piece, then it's still going to move around. So that's what you want to do. So I think I'm going to put this piece in next. And I'm going to maybe use this. So anyway, guys, this is really it. This is not rocket science, and you probably have already figured out how to do this, but there's a little bit more to it, so I'm going to go ahead and do it just in case. Now, I've seen other people do this, but I don't know who originally did it, and you know, so I can't really credit anybody individually. If y'all know who that is, just let me know, because I'm not trying to not credit somebody that deserves it. I just don't know specifically who started, you know, doing this. I've seen it out there. In fact, I had just ordered some cloth tape, some Tim Holtz cloth tape on Amazon, and then I went back because I thought, you know, I should have got 2 or something, and you can't get it anymore, and it's sold out. And I looked in a couple other places and I couldn't find it. So maybe this is like catching on where people are doing this. I don't know. Might be like a thing now where people are starting to do journals without sewing them in. You know, smaller journals. And this is kind of a cool way to do it. I mean, I think, but here we go. So I'm going to put that one in. Okay, I did that. And now I think I'm going to put a bag in here. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I'll do it on this one so you can see it. If you want a shorter piece, it's going to work the same way as any other paper. I'll go ahead and put that in there so you can see. I was going to add a few more, but I completely forgot. You would do that, but on the shorter piece, you know, you're still going to line it up, but I would just go ahead and take your, like here I have this tape here. I'll just use this. And go, make sure you get it all the way up and down it. You know, you don't want to probably piecemeal that one as much. So anyway, you would just do that. Okay. So I got that little piece on top I'll cut off. I don't need, just because I don't want it to stick to anything. Okay, so I'll tell you what, why don't we, what's 1, 2, make this our middle. We'll do this one and then one more piece of paper, I think. And then maybe we'll put another small piece in there. I don't know. Okay, E. All right, so my hands are sticky, so now things are sticking. The other thing I was going to show you, here's the piece of paper. So let's just say you want to do that. And you know, the thing about the paper is it's probably not as strong as the other things, but if you put enough glue on there, it'll be fine. And I'm going to actually tear this because I don't want it to be that big. I want it to go kind of in the middle. So this is just extra cut off piece of paper. And I'm just doing kind of the same thing with it as I did with the other stuff. And you could use all paper scraps to do this. You don't have to do anything as strong as what I did. I mean, you really don't. Okay, so I'm going to put this in there, but I'm also, I think I'm going to put this in and then I'm going to put this paper on. So I'm going to do that. Anyway, you can do it whatever you want. Oh yeah, there was something else I was going to show you guys. Hold down. I'm going to put that in. You just want to make sure that what you're using is wide enough. You can go, like I was going to show you with this. I'll do it with on the next one. I am going to show you this. Like here's this piece of paper. My only issue with this is that I just wonder, it's kind of brittle. It's not super brittle on a book page or whatever, but I just don't think it's as strong. And I'm kind of about, you know, so but you could put that in there and that would work. That'll work too. I mean, all right, so this last one, okay, that is crooked, so that's not going to work. All right, there we go. Okay, so this last one I'm going to put on, and I'm going to show you if I can get this undone. Where's the edge? You can do it with, let me get it closer to me to open it up. You can do this with thinner washi tape, but let me put this on, put some glue on. Put this in here, make sure it's very crooked. Okay, hold on. There we go. You can do it with the thinner washi tape, but what I would do is go crossways like this with it, okay? Just so that you're getting it, because if you go the other way, I just don't think that there's enough on each side to be, you know, secure. You know, on a small piece like this, it probably would be okay, but and then like I said, you want to make sure you have enough on there that you're not going back and forth. Okay, so we're not done yet. You guessed it. So now what we have to do is we have to go back across the other side. Get those in there good. Okay. Let it put it in there crooked. Okay. So we've got to go across the other way. And unfortunately, what happens on this is you do have papers that'll stick out because the middle is not sewn in and it's not tight. And that's why you really don't want to do a ton of pages. But in the end, this is still going to look pretty cool. So hang in there. And this is grungy. So, okay, so now what you're going to do, open it up on the other end. And let's see if you got any that are in there crooked that you like. This one's a little crooked, so I may take it, and I think I might move this one. Let me see if I can, if it's not glued down all the way. Yeah, I can move that around. I might take it out and see. Yeah, I think we're going to do that because it just seems like it's crooked. So let's see. And it may be too that I have too many pages in there. Once you get to where you have too many pages, it will stick out a lot because it just really isn't going to hold that. Let me see if I can. And also too, if you don't have it centered right on the middle, that's another problem too. Did I do that one to there? How did I do that? Maybe I did. I don't remember. Okay, so that's there. That was my paper one. It's not sticking very well. And I also think I didn't have it folded at the right spot either. All right, let's see how it works. If that's a little better. All right, I think it is maybe. It is a little bit. It is, but it still kind of sticks out a little, and so that's just the bag. I'm going to take this, and that's, I don't think there's anything you can do but other than go back across, and I am going to trim it down a little, and you can do that. I don't want it to stick out that much. I think I just folded the bag very crooked, so you do that again here. All right, that's good enough. That is good enough. Because this is our grungy journal. Okay, so now what you have to do is you've got to go back across the other edges that you have not put tape. You guessed it. And put some tape in there and basically do the same thing that you did on the other side. And go across and reinforce it. But it's way easier because it's already down. And you don't have to position it, so you're just kind of, and I know I did that crooked, but that's okay. You're just trying to reinforce it, and get some more of this, and you really just want to make sure it's hinged at least in 2 places, you know, just so that you have that support. And then let's see, maybe I'll do that a little bit more. So anyway, guys, this is an easy journal to do, and we are going to do a cover, but you'll see that in a minute. And the cover's super easy. going to take this piece of paper and I'm going to use it just to show you that you can use scraps or whatever it is you want to use. Just make sure it's, you know, strong enough to, well, that didn't work because I just ripped it with my finger, but that's okay. I'm going to just take some tape and reinforce it, and I don't care if it looks junky because that's kind of my look I'm going for. So I'm just going to do that. That was, I don't know why that didn't work. It's just that I think that paper is just too brittle. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Keep going until you get it all kind of sort of done. And then I would put like maybe this tape on the bottom. You want to just make sure you've got it reinforced. And this is a very sturdy journal when you get done. You can decorate it, do whatever, because it will hold up. It's not gonna, definitely not gonna fall apart. So it's got enough reinforcing on there. And like I said, if your glue stick it does not adhere well, then I would definitely use glue, where, you know, to put on the back of whatever you're using. And like I've seen people do this, and they use material and they go all the way up and down, you know, each one, or ribbon, or and I get that because I could see definitely putting like ribbon down here and gluing it, and that would certainly make it super strong. I think washi would work as long as you have it glued down, because I think that's strong enough. I mean, you're not putting anything that heavy in it. You're putting, you know, paper, so I think it would work. So we're just going to keep going. And like I said, I have the 12 pieces, including the little one, and that's probably a lot because you saw how it started to stick out a little bit in the middle. Because you can't, when you sew in your signatures, what it does is it pulls all of the papers in tight. So even you will always have it sticking out a little bit more toward the middle, but you're going to have it more so in this because you can't pull the papers in tight. But I think, especially on this kind of a journal, it doesn't really, it's not going to matter. It's going to look fine. And when you see what we do, you're going to know that it doesn't matter. It's going to look cool. And of course, like I say, whenever I do stuff, guys, just don't go fast like I do. Just take your time. You know, I'm trying to get it all in a video, so okay, that isn't going to work. Okay, I don't know what I was thinking. I put it all the way across, and that's not going to work. And of course, it's the paper that's not going to come off. Let me see if I can do that and make it look okay. Oh man, I don't know what I was thinking on that. I'm going to cover that up, even though it's supposed to be grungy anyway. Anyway, guys, yeah, that'll be all right. I put it, did you see what I did? I put it up here. Well, then you can't open it, okay? If you put it up too high, you can't open that piece. So let me get this piece and get it. I think I'm going to use washi on the bottom just to kind of do that, just to make it look good, like it was supposed to be, like there. Yep, kind of cover that up. Put that maybe right here. And that's okay because I'm not attached to that, do you see? So I'm going to put that over here. There we go. All right, now we are doing better. Oh, that is very crooked right there. What's going on with that? I'm having more problems with this middle piece. There we go. Let me put another piece in there with it just to kind of give it some extra reinforcement. Okay. I don't want that to move. Okay, so that works. And that one's in. And then that one's in. Okay, I got to do this right here. So you just want to make sure that they're reinforced on both sides, okay, so that each side is stuck onto something. Got one there we got to do, and I don't have any more of that, so I'm going to use this. And this one I'm going to go mostly down the middle instead of doing two pieces. Okay. Alright, let's see, did we miss any? Okay, that one is in. Did it get... Okay, that's not going to do that. All right. Now, if you go back through and you just make sure that every page is hinged, and as long as that you've got that going on, then you will be just fine on both sides. And that's it. That's pretty much it. That's your little journal that you've made. And then you want to put a cover on it. And like I said, because you're not tying this, see, when you're tying your signatures in like this, you're pulling them tight, okay? So that's what makes them, you know, not gap as much. So you're going to have some of that on this, but that's okay for this journal. We're going to take any 12 by 12 piece of paper will work for this because of the dimensions. So, and we're not going to do a spine, it's just going to be folded. So I'm going to take this paper and I'm going to use it because this is the cover of it, and I think that will look really cool in here. And yes, I do realize that it is going to stick out a little bit. That's okay, because we're going to do something to that to fix it. But that's going to be my cover for this. You can do any kind of cover. I mean, I don't know, you can make a cloth cover, do whatever it is that you think you want to do. I'm going to do this, but I'm going to add something to it. So I will show you. First, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it, and it's going to be just about a 1/4 inch bigger than my actual pages. Now I can't, you know, I'm going to fold it in half. So I'm not going to cut anything on the width, but on the height I have to cut it. So that's going to be, and I'm just going to be cutting off this top portion here. I want to keep that and keep that. So this is, you know, going to be 8.5 because that's our. So I think I'm going to just make it at 9. I don't know if I want it that tall though. I'm going to do it at 9, and then we'll see. If I don't like it, I'll change it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut. Let's see, we're going to cut this part. So we got to go 9 inches, and we're going to cut wrong end. So if we go 9 inches, what are we cutting off? Yeah, I think that'll be good, right, guys? Okay, so we're going to do 9 inches, and we're going to cut it. Okay, and hang on to this. Okay, so that is going to be our cover. I'm going to fold it in half. I mean, you could score this and do all that, but I'm not going to do that. So this is going to go on here like that, okay? And it really, I mean, it doesn't stick out that much. If it bothers you that much, you can add some to here, which is what I'm going to do. You're going to see that in a minute. But let me show you how we attach this, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to take the same process that we did over there, only I'm going to use, I don't know if I want to use that. I'm going to go ahead and use the washi. It'll work. Okay. And I'm going to attach this, but I'm going to go all the way up and down with it. So I need a piece, you know, and it doesn't have to be from top to bottom perfectly, but you do want to make sure you've got plenty of glue on there. What happened to my glue stick? I think you might normally want to use your other cloth on that to keep your cover on, but I think this will work. I can make sure I have plenty of glue, because this stuff's pretty strong. I mean, it's not all created equal, but I do think that this is fairly strong, because it feels more vinyl-y than it does paper. Otherwise I wouldn't do this. Okay, now this is important. Make sure that you got this in the spot you want it, all the way as far back as you can, and then go ahead and press down. Okay, so that is pretty much how you're putting it in. Then you're going to go the other side. Okay, let me see what happened. I do think it's in there crooked. Hold on. I'm going to go to the other side. And do I have it where I want it? Let's see. Okay. Take a piece. And like I said, guys, you can take your time with this. Do it however you want it. This washi tape, like I said, feels more like a vinyl than it does a paper. Otherwise, I probably would go ahead and use my other tape. So make sure it's far back as far as you can get it. Okay. And that's the important part, okay, is making sure that you have this in the right spot. Oop, upside down. I don't want to go that way. And I am going to make sure this goes in there, that in the end of that crease as much as I can. Because if you have it out too far, then it'll hold your papers out too far. So I'm going to put that in there more. I've got a little play with the tape here, with that glue, so it's not going to happen immediately. So that's a good part about using a glue stick. And I don't care if it's perfect, I just want to make sure that I have it in there enough. Okay, so there you go. That's it. And then what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to decorate up my cover to where this part is not going to matter. And then again, you could use other things that you make your cover bigger if you wanted to. Actually, I really would have liked that down a little bit more, but that's okay. All right, now I'm going to take a little bit of this lace, and I'm going to put it on the edge. Maybe not that one. I'm going to pick another one maybe. I think I have another one I want to use that I like better. I want it to be kind of sort of dingy. And I haven't dyed any of my laces in a while, so I'm running low on stuff that I need. I've got to get, okay, so let's see. I think I'm going to use this one because I think I like how that looks a little better. So I'm going to just take this. I'm going to put that on the edge. What happened to my other glue? Oh, here we go. Oh, here it is. I'm getting to the bottom on a couple of my glues, so I'm trying to make sure I use them. So I'm going to do that. And I usually keep my lace or whatever that I'm doing long until I'm done, because I don't know why, but every single time I measure and then cut, it ends up being the wrong size, and then I have this piece that I didn't really need to cut, you know. I mean, you can always use it later, but it's very aggravating. For some reason, it always happens to me. So I'm going to cut that. Right at the edge. Okay, and then I'm going to do it on the back. And this is always my quick fix for the not so perfect journal like that, because you can do that. And then of course, you guys, you can sew on this journal if you want to. I'm not sewing, just in case people don't have a sewing machine. I don't want them to feel intimidated. And remember, I said to keep these, this is where you're going to oh, no wonder that is weird on the bottom. It's a little crooked, isn't it? I can't really tell, but interesting. So what that did is you can't see the pages in there now. Okay, so there you go. And so now what I'm going to do is, this is my inside of my journal. And I'm going to do just like I would in any other journal probably, is I'm going to take my little leftover piece, and I'm probably going to make a pocket. So I'll put that there, make it a little shorter. And I don't know where my half round punch is. Is that up there? I'll just use this one. Do my scalloped. Okay. And I'm not gonna, I mean, you could sew this in. You can go as elaborate as you want to go. Okay. But I'm just doing this real quick, just to give you guys an idea of the actual structure of this no-sew journal. Okay, so that's one pocket, and I probably do one in the back. So which way is right side up on this? Okay, cut that. Like I said, you can take your time with this and do whatever it is you want. You could have put, if you wanted to, you could put more scrapbook paper in the middle of it. As long as you are, holding it together with a good, some sort of binding in the middle, it will work too. You don't have to just use the papers that I did. But just realize that the bulkier papers, you're going to put less in there. So, okay, I'm going to put that in. Oh, I cut that really crooked, didn't I? Yeah, I cannot cut straight, guys, ever. It's impossible for me. It just does not ever happen. Okay, so that is going to... I still cut it crooked. Oh, well. Anyway, so that is the pockets that we put in there. Okay, so that's your structure of your no-sew journal. And honestly, guys, this will hold up. It's not going to not hold up. You can decorate this. You can do whatever it is you want to do. In fact, I was going to... What was I going to do on this? Let me see what the time is, and I can decide. I'm going to take a piece of this. Where did it go? Let me put that up there. I'm going to just do this super quick so that we can just kind of get an idea of something that you might be able to do with this. Maybe put that up there like that. I thought it went well with that. And then what happened? There were some more pictures in here. There was more parts of this that were really cool. I didn't want to cover the bird's nest too much, I think I remember looking at that thinking I didn't want to do that. So let me just cover that up a little bit, cut it a little, make it a little bit more organic. Okay, just do that, and then see what other thing I can put on there. Just don't mind me while I shop here and figure out what I want to put on there. Okay, so let's just say, and I'm just ad-libbing this, guys, so again, take your time, do what you think you want. This is from the Tim Holtz Ideology, the Wallflower. If you haven't gotten this, guys, it is so cool. I love it. In fact, I'm going to be using this in my journal I'm doing, but I'm going to cut out this little bird here on this card because I think this will work perfect. I'm going to do that. And, you know, like I say, you guys take your time. And then I think I want, let's see, where's my other stuff down here? Put some where did it go? Yeah, I think I want to take a little bit of this and put that in there. And you know, like I said, I always do things in a hurry and I don't plan them. Believe it or not, I have no idea what I'm going to do most of the time. So I'm going to put a little darker, a little bit of darker. This is what? Gathered Twigs. Yeah, I'm going to put that in there. Kind of, that's appropriate. I didn't realize it when I just said it. Gathered Twigs. We have gathered twigs right there. I'm going to do that here. Let's see. I didn't even look to see. Oh, it's too big. Look at that. Well, I want to cut that down. You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm just going to get another piece. Like maybe... I really need to start measuring things. I tell you, I just eyeball stuff so much. And all right, let's see how that. Oh, that's better. Okay, just gonna do. Yeah, that's better. Plus, I like it. It's more organic. More organic. That's my word, I think, lately. Okay, we'll do that. We will just do that, right? I do want this a little bit more kind of messed up, but. Yeah, just get that corner off. Yeah, I like that better. So anyways, guys, this is just an easy little, let me do some of that on there. I think would look good too. Put that on there. Got that on there. So we're just going to stick that on there with a little bit of this. All right. Let me see. I want it kind of messed up a little bit. I always put more on than I need and then I cut it off. That's just kind of how I do it. I don't know. Because it's kind of hard to get on there. At least my hands aren't super sticky. It seems like every time I'm trying to put this stuff on there, my hands are like full of glue, which is, it's not an easy thing to do. I take it, stick it out a little bit more. Okay. All right, so where'd my glue go? I'm going to take this, glue it down. The last bit of my glue. I was going to open up a new bottle, but I thought no. I have like 2 bottles that have like hardly any in it. So I really need to like use it because this stuff is not cheap, but I love it. I can't live without it. I just can't. Okay. So maybe the other bottle has more in it. Does it? I don't know. That's kind of iffy. Maybe. Maybe it does. Okay. I'm going to put some on the back of this. There we go. Now it's coming out. It's cooperating. Okay, so I'm going to take that and I'm going to just put it right here on this journal. I'm going to kind of keep it up high because I'm going to maybe put a closure on there, and I would probably just do, got some sari silk right here, something kind of rustic, just like this. Okay, this is just a nice, oh, and I do want to ink this up because it does need to be inked. Of course, you can ink all of your papers and stuff if you want. Mine were very grungy, so I didn't really see a need to do that. But you know, I am going for kind of grunge on this, so I could do more, you know. So I'm using the gathered twigs again because it's a little bit darker, and I think it will work better on this journal. So then just take this, and there you go. You know, nice and easy peasy. Right, guys? So that was a super easy journal, and of course it's not decorated. You could go back in and decorate it, and I probably will do some a little bit on this, but anyway, guys, look at that. And that was not hard. It looks pretty cool. You could easily do several of these for gifts or whatever you wanted to do. See, I always like to pull these, and I'll pull it out from underneath there. Let me get this other scissor and use that. Here we go. Yeah. Anyway, so that is it. Wasn't hard to do. It really, honestly, could take you, you know, 30 minutes to do this. And this is not going to come apart. It will not. It is just as sturdy as any other journal that you would sew. You know, all you've got to do is just, you know, do your pages and stick them in here. And now, see, it's ready to decorate. It's ready to go. You've got all these really cool built-in pockets. That's why I use the bags. I thought, well, then you don't really have to have any pockets or anything. You could still add things to this. You've got a couple pockets in the front and the back. And like I said, you know, this is just an easy journal. I personally would love one like this just because it's the grungy kind of cool look of it, but you can make this any style you want. You could use any kind of papers you want. It does not have to look grungy. I mean, I just did it because, you know, that's kind of what I thought would go good with these bags that I wanted to use. I've got to use these up. But anyway, that was super easy, okay? Just some papers, one piece of 12 by 12 paper, you know, and just like I said, you can use a micropore, you can use washi tape, you can use pieces of paper. You have lots of options as far as your little hinges. So, and there are a lot of different hinge ways to do these out there, and there's probably easier ways and better ways. I don't know. That's how I know how to do it. So, you know, just go out there and look and see. You may find something out there you like better. So anyway, that's it, guys. We will see you next time.